What's going on, everyone? So, the Lakers played their first preseason game in which they lost to the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know a lot of people are panicking and freaking out over that. I don't think it's a big deal. Look, preseason is not so much about the wins and losses. We've had Lakers teams that have only won one preseason game and ended up winning the NBA championship. We've had Lakers teams that have won every preseason game and didn't win the NBA championship. So it's not about, oh, this is the template, this is the precursor to how the season's going to go. Preseason is about just what are the good things that we can continue to grow and continue to build on as a platform, and then what are the bad things that we need to continue to improve, continue to work on for the regular season. And the Lakers' main problem against the Warriors was just hitting shots, really. Like, we were getting all the shots that we wanted. Guys just couldn't knock down the shots. The refs didn't really help in a lot of ways. But nonetheless, it's, again, preseason. Let's right the ship. And we have a real opportunity tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. Austin Reeves and Mikal Bridges, two BFFs, may end up facing off. I don't know. My guess is that Austin Reeves and LeBron James don't play. At least at the time of recording this video, there is no news on if anyone's out or not. But they've been really cautious with Austin Reeves. LeBron James, they probably don't have him play until the last, preseason game or two. And Anthony Davis, if he does play, again, will be very limited. Same thing with guys like D'Angelo Russell, things like that. If the Nets play Bridges and guys like that, again, it'll probably be very limited. I would guess probably around, a quarter's worth of minutes. So we may not get to see like starters versus starters and kind of get that comparison. But regardless, I want to see the good and the bad and improvements each preseason, right? Now, again, a lot of guys looked really good. And, for example, Jared Vanderbilt and Anthony Davis, whether they play 2 minutes or 10 minutes, I want to continue to see the good that we saw from those two, being confident and stepping into that three-point shot, right? Again, I don't want Anthony Davis falling in love with the three-point shot. I don't want him thinking like, oh, that's it. Now, I'm a shooter, so let shooters shoot. Like, I don't want something like that. But his ability to stretch the floor would open up so much for the Lakers, especially if he's going to play power forward for any significant amount of time. I don't have an issue with him taking 3 to 4 3-point attempts. I just don't want to see him go and he's shooting, say, 20 shots a game, and half of those are, or 2/3 of those are coming from 3-point range. No, he's coming off of the best shooting season of his career because he shot everything around the rim. Everything was in that like 10 to 15 feet range or right there at the basket. He's really struggled from 15 feet out, but he looked very confident. He was 2 of 3 from 3 in that Warriors game, and just absolutely dominating and getting whatever he wanted. I want to continue to see that in whatever limited amount of time he's in. Jared Vanderbilt, same thing, right? Jared Vanderbilt, he's going to be playing heavy minutes, and just his role is going to be the spot-up corner three-point shooter. And if we're going off of last season, he is our worst offensive player, right? He has been working like a madman on just that corner three-point shot, working day and night, just trying to get his efficiency up. Last season, he shot around 30%. I don't need both of these guys to be elite. I just need them to be respectable enough to where teams have to go out and challenge it and be around league average. If they could get to 34 to 36%, that would be perfect, right? Because now it's good enough to where teams are going to have to come out and challenge, right? Jared Vanderbilt, same thing as Anthony Davis, was 2 of 3 from 3. But it wasn't so much that he hit the shots. It was you could see the improvements. You could see the confidence, right? He looked like a guy that's been working on this all offseason. There wasn't that hesitation. He just got the ball, boom, launched it up. Did it again, oh, boom. And he even missed his first one. So he made the next two, and that is a good sign because he didn't let himself get down after missing the first attempt. He knocked him down, right? Jared Vanderbilt, there's no questions about his defense. He is elite defensively. He is arguably, if not the best on-ball defense player in the entire league. If he can just develop any kind of offense, right? Now you're talking maybe the best 3-and-D guy in the league, right? So that would be huge for the Lakers once again. So I want to continue to see that growth and that heading in a positive direction. Again, they're not going to shoot 66% from 3 every game, But I want to see the ability. I want to see the even Anthony Davis. His shot looked good. It looked fluid. I want to continue to see that. But Max Christie is the one that I'm really kind of like keeping my eye on this game, and I want to watch heavily. He was phenomenal in that last game. And look, I understand it's preseason. You don't want to put too much stock into preseason, but he's still playing against NBA players with NBA talent and the Warriors were defending. Like, the Warriors weren't just standing around letting Max Christie do whatever he wanted. No, he was beating the defender off the dribble. They were trying to stop him. And he was doing his thing. He was getting to his spots. He showed the ability to be a legit 3-level scorer. He was taking what the defense gave him. We saw him knocking down threes. We saw him, pull up mid-range, shooting off the dribble, taking the defender, going to the basket. Like, all of the things that we wanted to see from him, we saw. And on top of that, defensively, he's been solid. Like, not named Jared Vanderbilt, he might be our next best on-ball defensive player. And so if he can continue to display what we've seen from him, because you got to remember, he was doing this in Summer League. And again, I understand it's Summer League. He's not playing against NBA talent. Well, guess what? Now he is playing against NBA talent. And now the excuse is like, oh, well, it's just preseason, right? Yeah, but it's still NBA talent. They're still defending. They still don't. No NBA player wants to go and get a 40-piece dropped on them. Like, guys aren't just standing there just letting guys shoot and stuff. Like, this isn't the all-star game, right? Teams are still trying to work out their kinks, and we saw a very good display. And we're starting to see a pattern with Max Christie, and it's a really good one. And I want to see that continue to grow and develop because he's going to be our future. The Lakers believe he's our next superstar. The Lakers believe he's the guy that is going to be the franchise guy for the next, 20 years or whatever. He's only 20 years old, right? The guy is, you could stash him away for the next 4 years and he'd be younger than everybody on this roster. Like, the upside and potential for this kid, and after the growth we've seen from year 1 and year 2, he's the next Austin Reeves breakout this year. Like, if anyone's going to do it, it's probably him. And he's looked really good, and he looks like he's ready to take the next step. But I want to see the consistency, right? He was very consistent in preseason, getting whatever he wanted, right? Putting up, 18, 20 a game. I want to see that this preseason, because I think he's going to get heavy minutes preseason, and he's battling for that backup shooting guard spot, right, behind Austin Reeves. And right now, in my opinion, he has the biggest margin and the biggest lead, because, Cam Reddish came off of a tough display. And I don't know if Cam Reddish plays tonight, right? Because he rolled his ankle. Are the Lakers cautious with him? Or does he say, no, I'm good, like, let's go, because he's trying to earn that rotation spot, right? Look, he was excellent defensively, but he looked like a guy that was trying to do too much, right? He looked like a guy that was trying to prove, which I understand he's trying to earn a rotation spot. He knows that Max Christie is right on his tail and he doesn't want to be right in the pine. But you saw Max Christie just go out there and play the game. Max Christie wasn't trying to do too much. He was letting the game come to him rather than going to the game. And Cam Reddish did the opposite. He was trying to do too much and trying to show, where if he just lets the game come to him, he's got the tools, the talent, and the intangible to be an excellent player. So if he does play, I really want to see him just calm it down, right? Like, just get back into the swing of things. Same thing with, like, Jalen Hood-Schifino. I think Jalen Hood-Schifino just got too caught up in, the back and forth with the Warriors, and he's trying too much to, like, stand out and be a guy that maybe could get some rotation minutes rather than just playing basketball. The best way you're going to earn a spot in the rotation is by showing that you can play the game of basketball. Right? Showing that I can defend at a high level, I can hit some shots, I can create some offense, all of that. Like, if those things become a reality, you're probably going to get some minutes, right? And Jalen Hood-Schifino, Cam Reddish, those are two guys that just look like they were just trying to just do way too much and just need to take a step back. Like, we know that they can hoop. We know that they can ball, especially Cam Reddish. He has a track record. Right? He's a guy that can go get you double digits on any given night. He's 6'8", 7'2" wingspan, hyper athlete, like everything you could want. He's got to take a step back. Even guys like Jackson Hayes, right? he looked great. Jackson Hayes was fantastic out there. He only had like 5 points, 2 rebounds, but it was his hustle, it was his energy. It was, him constantly being a lob threat and the defense having to like worry about that. That's going to be a thing in the regular season. It's going to be a thing in the playoffs where you have guys like LeBron James, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, so on and so forth that can create, and the defense is going to have to collapse. You're going to have a young athlete in Jackson Hayes ready to just hammer it home on everybody, right? Like I want to see, like, you saw a group that was very comfortable and confident and knew what they needed to do. And then you saw another group that looked like they were pressed for time, right? Like their time was running out and they need to try to expedite things. And that one unit that was trying to do too much fell on their face. And the unit that, just played the game of basketball, those were the 5-6 guys that actually did well, right? So I want to continue to see that. Taurean Prince, can he not foul out in the first 4 minutes? I mean, it was like 13 minutes, but still, he had like 5 of his 6 fouls in like the first like 5 minutes or whatever. I mean, look, half of those fouls were just ridiculous. And, I get, again, he was kind of looked like he was trying to impress rather than just play his game a little bit. But I have full confidence in him because he's a veteran. He's been there. He's done that, right? He's built a reputation as that hard-nosed 3-and-D guy, right? I don't think Taurean Prince is going to be a problem by any stretch. I think he'll bounce right back. He's not going to shoot, what was he, like 0 of 4 or whatever from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. This is a guy that, shoots 38 to 40% from 3. I expect him to start knocking down some shots, right? Like, I'm comfortable and confident in Taurean Prince, right? I know he was kind of like a run and joke last game, which is fine. I mean, considering the way he played. But beyond that, like, I expect him more than anybody. I think he's the guy that has the most potential to bounce back because I also think he also has like the least pressure and role, right? His job is just 3-and-D defend, right? He doesn't have to actually like create and go get shots, stuff like that. Where like Cam Reddish, you need to see an array because he's not a great 3-point shooter. So you need to see like his ability to just go get buckets. You need to see his ability to defend at a high level. You need to see his ability to hit shots from time to time, make plays for others, right? Like Cam Reddish has to do a lot more to really prove himself rather than, Taurean Prince, who it's like, he's built a 10-year sample size of like just being a legit 3-and-D guy. So I have my faith in him. And then look, Christian Wood, I know he looked rough if you watch the game, and he started off a little rough, right? He was like a little like just out of sorts to start the game, but he kind of picked it back up. He was being aggressive, attacking the rim, which I love to see. Shooting wise, he didn't look great. He was like 2 of 8 from the field, but he was getting clobbered. And for whatever reason, the refs just thought, no, it's okay, Wood. Like, you're okay. No blood, no foul type thing. And it was just like, it was ridiculous. Like, I mean, these weren't like little tic-tac fouls. I mean, he was getting like hammered on at least 3 or 4 of those shot attempts and didn't get nothing. But he showed a display defensively. He was doing great, switching and rotating over to guys, at least making an effort to close out. Like there was 2 times where the ball swung and it wasn't even his guy, and he just ran out and put his arms up to close. One of the times he blocked the shot. The other time he wasn't able to get to the shot, and he actually made the shot. But at least it was the effort. Right? Because he could have just sat there and just said, hey, I'm boxing out for the rebound. Like, that's not my guy. But no, he said, oh, no, the guy's wide open. Let me make that extra effort to get out there and go try to block that shot. And I love seeing that stuff. That's what we're going to need from him, right? Christian Wood, again, we have a large enough sample size with him to know what he's capable of. I don't think he was one of the guys trying to do too much or anything like that. He was in a unit where they weren't doing anything offensively. He was trying to, let me try to generate offensively, because he didn't take a bunch of shots, and especially early on, he didn't take a bunch of shots. He had that like little stretch where he took like 4 or 5 shots, like back to back to back, because we were just stagnant offensively, and he hit 2 of them, and then the other 3 got just clobbered. So I I'm confident in Christian Wood. I know there's like a running conversation about does he look out of shape? You know, he's got a little pudge. I'm not like super concerned with that, right? Like, because one, that could be a multitude of things. One, the Lakers could have asked him for that. Two, he may have done it purposely because he's going to have to play center a little bit more than he's used to, right? And then, or three, is that he hasn't gotten to play all offseason. Because you got to remember, he's been a free agent, so he hasn't been able to work out at any facilities. It's not like he could have went to the Houston facility and work out. He's not a Houston Rocket. And he couldn't go to the Lakers facility and go work out for the Lakers because he hadn't been a Laker yet. So he might be using the preseason to kind of get in shape and get his body right. But look, I'd love to get the win tonight. That would make me very happy. But at the end of the day, again, it's not about that. I don't really care so much about the wins and losses. I care about just continuing to build good habits, continuing to put our best foot forward, and whatever we need to work on, identifying that and continuing to work on that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Think we get the win tonight? Who are you looking forward to? Love to hear it. Let me know.